BiOMUTANT.
Stream Elements. Side. Manic Gamers is now live. Streaming BiOMUTANT, BiOMUTANT Xbox onex.
Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, galera. Iniciando mais uma live pra vocês, vamos que vamos aí. Esse novo game aí, a produtora nos prestigiou, a Norte. E vamos no fácil, né, velho?
Encode your DNA.
Né? Esse Rex aqui não tem muita força, mas tem não sei o que. Tem que ver qual é que é dos caras aqui, velho. De vida é melhor. Mas também o poder não... É do Rex mesmo. Pega Rex.
Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your first style.
Ah, lascou, pá. Se eu vou ficar perto aqui, não vai ficar saindo o todinho aqui. É.
Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Commando. Deadeye. Commando. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Saboteur. Psy-Commando. Commando chosen. Good choice. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice, a reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows.
Let me introduce myself. I'm the light and bright side of you, or your inner voice to be precise, an echo of balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
Streamolix. Said. Olá @manicgamers. rosto sorridente com 3 corações. A V te deseja uma excelente live.
That's right. Light is only for those having difficulty seeing what's in front of them. Sticking to the me first path is the only way we'll be going places.
I'm surprised at the change of heart. I believe in putting
Com
yourself
3D.
aside to help others. But helping
Bem-vindo
the
ao
dark
canal.
side is
You
Puxou
can't
o
fight
verde.
who you really are.
Bem-vindo
The
ao
blood
canal.
is obviously running
Social
red in our
underscore
veins.
growth underscore discord. Bem-vindo ao canal. Vlo da Cuca. Bem-vindo ao canal.
E vamos que vamos. Lá vamos nós.
You're trying to keep us in the dark here, but you know it's blue blood in our veins and what it means. We have responsibilities. You can't fight the truth.
Right is always right. Stories of death and the bodies left behind, a reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others.
Stream Elements. Said.
Obrigado aí pelo follow.
Obrigado
valeu.
por seguir Manic
Nós.
Gamers Nois que voa.
Vou ver aqui, galera. E vídeo aqui dá uma escurecida aqui. Tá muito claro isso aí. Deu, né? Aqui, o pé. Nitidez, tem que ser nítido. Taxa de quadros. 30, 60, 60. Vamos lá. Deu uma melhorada.
Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger.
Agora eu tô escutando o Maria Chat aqui, porque eu tô espelhando, senão eu não escuto não. Tô direto no Xbox aqui, não. Tô buscando. A preula. Caralho, câmera ruim. Ah, filho de rapaz, vai morrer aí.
Aninha Paulinha.
Eita,
Bem-vindo ao canal.
Boa tarde, Aninha. Seja bem-vindo. Obrigado.
better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story.
É igual no trailer, ó. Igualzinho do trailer, doido. Essa parte. Carrega, carregando, carregando.
This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes.
Vai vendo.
The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. Cutting edge. Ended it. Grab on tight. The oil sludge is everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed
Bem-vindo ao canal.
with it. Evolution has its ways.
Sai daí, mano, tá fudendo, caralho. Morreu. Faleceu.
The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death. But some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Blasting everything to bits.
Bem-vindo ao canal.
Vai vendo, mano. Interessante, interessante, interessante. Chute nos ovos desse, qualquer um deita.
Disc 0 for streamers. Bem-vindo ao canal.
An emergency box from the once was. A rare sight.
É no pé de cabra.
That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress, blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Flying fists. Bullets everywhere.
Bem-vindo ao canal. Vloda Cuca. Bem-vindo ao canal.
Your reserves are tapped.
Commander Holt. Bem-vindo ao canal.
Nice shot.
Quem tinha que fazer essa live era você, não era eu não. Sua cara. Eu acho legal o jogo, mas não...
Toxanol built vessels called
Não é minha praia muito,
arks
não.
to save themselves from the impending doom. But
Curto muito
was it
RPG.
too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count.
Ah, porra. Tá, beleza. Olha os quebra-cabeça da vida aí. Ângela! Olha os quebra-cabeça. Ah, preula. Tem 10 movimentos aí. Agora não sei se é pra deixar tudo amarelo. Gire cada um lá no modo pra combinar as cores.
Eu já sei como é que é. Isso, gira.
Tá. É que eu não tô lendo muito. Você lê do lá pra trás.
There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door.
Lá está, lá está, lá está.
Just a few moves left. Make them count. Quite a shock to the system. Let's try that again. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Head on. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. How Lupa Lupin somehow left you alive after his raid on the old village. He must have had a purpose with that. The question is, what? There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land. The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also worries about the Jagni tribe that's actively working for a doomsday and purging of the world. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. You might be right. Like potato, the Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You must find the glitter grass. You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the heart. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. You handle that net like you've never done any. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Pensai tree. Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of... One day... But today, your focus is getting this one to be... Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even... You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't survive the... He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid the tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it... Records tell of the ruinous devastation the Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land. The apocalypse sparked a re-evolution, the second coming, and our lineage. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree is... His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater, the Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive.
Geschaut ved Kodle Bilunis Bayo, Ocean Tushina Mai.
He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here.
He
worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important.
Kabobe farhi. Beboko kontabe.
Out of date,
Kabobe farhi.
the Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a...
Bubu tuboko. Why gatawa?
Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. Myriad is convinced that defeating the World Eaters is the only way the world can be saved, but they've been forced to focus on their rivalry with the Jagni tribe. Out of date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. Step back, world. You reload it by swinging back your arm. Fits you well.
Tiagosf. Bem-vindo ao canal.
Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. They've restroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Let's see. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Says the Sifu decides who the Sifu wants to see, but is willing to let you give it a try.
Zata is the moi totloho. Kariesne stace. Paro, yaput.
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. He's referring to your rampage through Bunker 101. It seems you don't mind a bit of blood on your hands. That's something you have in common. He understands that sometimes we need to lose ourselves to find ourselves. But he's glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kid.
naoko onis poloknost.
Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples.
Apinosko, donzadne, nibira.
Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it was based on unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain.
Ives yeti reklidekle. Zata, naoko onis poloknost.
The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land and there are rivals in all directions.
Zata is de moi apinosko.
Jackney doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Says there is some darkness in the best of us, even you, and suggests you embrace that side.
Stormunich.
He had a
Bem-vindo ao
feeling
canal.
you'd say that. You're not sinister enough to be a Jackney. That big heart of yours makes you weak. He'll give you a chance to change your mind before you leave and asks you to reconsider. Otherwise, you'll be seen as a rival.
Vlada, naoko kiza, zata.
Then so be it. He wants you to know that they'll show no mercy at the end of this war and offers you a last chance to come back and join when you realize you've picked the wrong side.
Nezdac ne okoni. Del novazi ale dluhodo, o?
It's time to say goodbye for now. And if it's not the kind of goodbye that lasts forever, then the next... That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Says everyone wants to see the Sifu. You're in luck, though, as his schedule just opened up.
Sipi? La fanen aginkan man. Gerat na fal hutut mus. Tugai la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. The wall? He's convinced you've returned for a reason and is glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she... There were 6 of them, but the unity fell apart after Lupa Lupin attacked the old village. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe. The Jagni tribe may believe that fear and hatred will lead them to domination. A vanquisition of the tribes and destruction of the Tree of Life won't be the restart they want. It's just an end to everything. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. They might bring them war, but they'll never take away their inner peace. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of.
É, o bagulho tá doido. Os caras tudo em guerra, o bagulho tá louco.
He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that tells you not to be afraid. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again.
denken alvesse Anne.
They passed the point of no return as their words lost power and see no other way forward than using violence to...
denken alvesse Anne.
Seeing you brings back his memories.
De gula ma moffe, geraten na fala hutut.
Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good.
Gera wach, wa pala misa.
He remembers your kind and unselfish soul and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good.
Sibi, pala wala papa, all the goose gonna het echt.
Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old village on your way to the first rival outpost might help. He can't blame you for not remembering, but he can sense the stillness of something lost.
Haver Gelizard Enjoyer. Bem-vindo ao canal. Eiton. Bem-vindo ao canal.
Says if you like to go out on the surf, you should find Goop. Says goodbye to you. Sparkles about how brilliant it is to have someone like you that shares both wishes. The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. Seems surprised you have to go. Let's see. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Watch you flex.
Strion Elements. Said.
Opa, brigadão.
Obrigado por seguir Manic
Obrigado aí
Gamers
pelo
Nós
follow,
que
é
voa.
nóis. Valeu, valeu. Obrigado aí pela sua presença e obrigado pelo follow aí, valeu mesmo.
Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see.
Vocês perceberam, ele mija no lugar quando chega nos territórios pra marcar, mano. Acaba sem vergonha. Tá mijando nos postes.
As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Goop says he always does better whenever he leaves failure behind. He's happy his good mood is infected. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. Learning to swim can be scary when you don't know what you're doing. But fortunately, he thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Why not? There's no better time to do what needs to be done than right now.
Fativi.
He says that wasn't too bad, was it?
Fativi. Kompohoga.
At least you learned that you'll drop.
Kompohoga.
But you need practice. Lots of practice.
Kompohoga. Daikeza.
Great things.
Lamdi otsnikna.
You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim.
Tirami.
He won't let anyone know you can't. Judging by your Muma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go.
Kalina?
The dedication to training is important. You can't rely solely on the fact that Wang Fu is in your blood.
Kodotoko.
You should know, practice makes perfect.
Taifanamenuma. Ruhemuktono.
You have to keep working on it.
Ruhemuktono.
She'll see you at the village square.
Ruhemuktono. Tatenko baba sakting.
She says that's good. With a passion for learning, here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. He's learned that he was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He thinks you're truly a kidling of your environment. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find some. He wonders what usefulness you found. He says every little thing counts. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. That's the spirit. You can't make a difference unless you get your hands dirty. He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found would be a good start. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He understands, but he thinks mastering the 6 weapon styles of Wang Fu is more than enough for anyone. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience.
Volakamono rukna.
You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square.
Gendrana mala.
Then you've got a good...
Pial tu ma volakamono rukna.
She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to...
Andro, deret,
She won't live forever, you know that.
tukonda, deret.
You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her.
Pala, andro, pendrene senema.
Then start by meeting her on the village square and take it from... They look determined. Better watch out.
Alaka.
He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going.
Di ferecit.
That makes him...
Ea etetifaga. Saluto.
There's no way they'll let you pass.
Chisisumoro a katira.
He wants to know who you think you are.
Ea etetifaga. Saluto. A otto fantasi e le fale fafia.
He says you're right.
Apli tonomuta.
She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Puri kumbala muma.
She says it's nice of you.
Kanyala no toro.
The most important...
Puri kumbala muma.
It's time to focus on your training now.
Inyava aldo kamonu.
You won't need excuses if you are strong in... Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best.
Gagu, waksan u intabadan ka maglay.
Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling.
Darin mianda kaguno.
Training...
Und lumfaub so. Why adfuno jabe?
He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training.
Cherry la fia. Ja.
He would...
But ja analog.
He said...
Cherry la fia.
He's curious to see what you found.
Zif domosakula ima bela.
He's all for it.
Bon jamakuda horedatunka. Zif.
He can work wonders with pretty much anything and asks if you know how to upcycle.
Khalifaf Cairo.
Think...
Khalifaf Cairo. Ishko. Isku. Mishaku hake zavania.
The style might be too edgy for his...
Waxandonia ina mahamala.
He knows she's...
Isku.
You should take it with you. Wear it to practice.
Diava. Ekani salavai.
He thinks you should. She'll be proud.
Tarinman.
He's looking...
Kamonu.
Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
Anora kapapum. Inyada aldo.
Wants you to understand that you can do anything if...
Anora kapapum. Kentsib.
She says she is eager to get started. You don't have much time left before the sun goes down.
Kanamunta. Katyaktopolupta.
But there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back.
Katyaktopolupta.
That's a good attitude as long as you keep learning. Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Masammal.
That's all.
Inadabsunka. Asilnatu. Pentnampusa.
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it.
Kentsib.
That's why you should be sure to thank him for it. Catchy.
Anora kapapum.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful.
Brumblena marsamambulundu.
She's happy you appreciate what
Asilnatu. Kamonu.
a piece of scrap.
Tropalo.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see.
Kamonu.
You're lucky to have such a fine helper with you.
Gendrana mala.
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Tropalo.
She's so happy you made the most of it. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire.
Antoro. Can't see. Come on.
Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Kana munta.
Your Muma says this is it. The time has come. She must...
Inadabsunka amora kapapom.
There's nowhere to run to this time. The time has come to stand and fight.
Katyatopuluta. Inadabsunka.
Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect you, your Popsy, and those she was chosen to lead.
And nampusa.
She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with you.
Andro polakudo.
She loves how brave you are, but she can't be worrying about you while she fights. This is her fight. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now.
Roachei Bem-vindo ao canal.
If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on.
Vixe, galera, crashou o jogo, ó. Vamos voltar aqui. Crashou mesmo, não foi nem que caiu a stream. Pensei que tinha caído aqui porque tô espelhando, entendeu? Mas não foi não, foi que deu ruim mesmo. Tentando voltar o stream aqui, não tá aqui. Vamos tentando aqui, galera. Aqui pra mim, galera, só tá carregando também. Não sei se tá a tela preta aí, mas pra mim aqui só fica carregando também. Olha lá, agora pra mim apareceu o game aqui. Não, tô vendo aqui. Aí, voltou aqui. Que doideira, mano. Que doideira, tio. Tamo de volta, tamo de volta. Vamos ver. O menino, filho de ninguém com porra nenhuma, que perdeu o pai e a mãe. É o que ele tem que fazer agora. Já vamos nós. Agora vai cortar o áudio mesmo.
The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. Carving it up. You're on the ropes.
Tá de rosca. Tô colocando no mute aqui, galera, que tá mó barulho aqui em casa aqui, e fica aí vazando na live aí, mas se vocês comentarem alguma coisa aqui, nós estamos aqui, galera. Mas responde na hora. Diz que Maria Chat fale pra nós, né?
They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. You gave them no choice but to take it down, even though they'd planned to take the Fluff Hulk out to the Farfnacky leaves and let it go. They've received news a Ronin had strengthened their ranks and were looking forward to meeting you. A group of myriad crusaders already headed out to Jagni's Mercadorpus outpost and are waiting for you there. You should hurry there and help them best the outpost. You complete them. From this point on, the myriad is unbroken. Look, an emergency box from the old day. Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. Better than nothing. Toxanol was something called a corporate juggernaut, and our world still bears the marks of the massive ecological catastrophes they inflicted upon the land. The apocalypse they caused was the end of days for their work. But for us, it was simply a beginning. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? Whacked. Face-fisted. The best stories are about heroes. This is such a story. This corner of the world is called Bricktown. A flush stool from the back in time. Seems like the tighteners on the piping need to be unturned correctly to drain the flush stool. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's what you could call a wet disaster. You need to unturn the pipe tighteners to drain the flush stool. That's the kind of trouble you really want to wash away. Feels like something's about to happen today. Keeps the sun out of your eyes. That notice board, filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. Pay attention. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just... Toxanol never cared about the waste, as long as they didn't have to pay to clean it up. There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. Just hope it's not buried. You found the whereabouts, the deepest, darkest forest in the land, sometimes hard to see for all the trees. Breathe in all that nature. uppercutted. That's a Jagni tribe outpost. Flexity flex. Mercadorpus Outpost, a Jagni tribe stronghold. Says it's time to set the outpost free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to the rival captain. If you can, you should try to convince the captain to give up the outpost and join your cause. They're ready to enter the outpost when you are.
Nam tau tau supply.
Every step you take towards your end goal will bring you closer to a better world. Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb lobber. Spot wrecked it. That twirly wheel works that drain pipe. Spin the twirly wheel and open that drain. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Everything's clocking together. Gotta try the key to see. Keep going. That cage is holding a helper. They never lost hope you'd come, but weren't sure if they'd last long enough to see it. Says the tribe's been hard on them. Wants revenge on those who... A sharpshooter. The scaffolding looks unstable. Better stay clear of the red ray. Here's the second line of defense. red means danger. Timber. Bet a big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it, then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks explodey. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not too close. Kaboom! You're in. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You've earned the privilege of carrying the tribe's weapon. Figures the honor belongs to the tribe, too. Out of Date says he's doing his best to keep up, but from what he can tell, it seems you're... That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's forebodings are justified. The jumbo puff needs to be taken care of. He says the time has come to Gizmo is working on making his Mekton strong enough to
Come, Reaper.
You should get over there and see what you can do to help. As long as you're happy about it.
Nathampinale, igdre.
Says it's time to head to the blimp.
Gamauketua.
Understand?
Gellen denken of wood, nee.
He knows things that you need to know.
Gellen, what a click.
We'll be around. Getting dimmer by the minute.
Chawa pao wesewa. Bayo osina tosina mai.
Seems... Let's see. That's a gnote. Easy prey for Lupin. For everyone else, they're a perfect mount and easily tamed if they are kept fed. Was that lightning? It's the chug yard. Needs a key. The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here. They can carry you anywhere you like. Well, anywhere that they... You're on the right track. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. Bomber Bonkers busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. couldn't stand another hour of daylight. Let's see. Your foe stands before you. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. He hopes you remember. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo understands.
Yes, that's the way. No arguing with that.
That is how you shine light at the dark.
Seriously, don't doubt the dark. Ugh.
I'm so proud of you for doing the right thing.
Can't believe you let that loser sway you.
Would like to know if you ever doubt the choices you made on the path that brought you to this point. Would you have been happier going in a different direction? Supposes that's all any of us can do. Hard to believe the world is actually going to survive. Just seemed impossible till now. Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seemed so centered and so seeking.
Sanix, bem-vindo ao
Figures
canal.
everyone does. They seem unusually dedicated to finding them. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone, so you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting with the old crate outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff. That's what he decided to call it after he saw it for the first time. It's big and fluffy. That's accurate enough. It's a game of life, yours and everyone else's. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework.
Fit. Bem-vindo ao canal.
Just the kind of scrap you need.
Galera, só um minuto, vou tirar a água do joelho e já volto já. Voltemos, vamos que vamos.
Worth going outside just to see the night sky. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care.
que eu vou entrar nisso aí, mano. Tem um gás aí que faz peito de véia. 3 respiradas já. Ai, ai.
The birds don't have enough flaps to fly.
Já era, morreu. Unha preta. A limpar essas unhas, a unha sua tá preta.
No air left for whining about it. That's the leftover you're looking for. Gross. This place stinks. Your ears just pooped. He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun, and a gatherer. He's been working on another project for the mech. The best way to find scripts is to go to... Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead... Gizmo thinks he's... The grease monkey's mechton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to. Stand up on your own 2 feet.
Botse. Immo. Diava.
This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be... Says a monster. Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good, choosing what to kill and what to... You might have a steady aim. It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves when it comes. Wonders why you work. Says you should give up on working with the stubborn myriad. He keeps trying to put out their light. But enough of that. He says the one. He's not sure about their veg. Right now, though, he feels he's... Moog said... Fortunately for... There's no better place to start. Says it's... Let's see.
Galera, vamos encerrar a live aqui. Depois a gente volta aí com esse game aí. O outro aí da escolha de vocês aí. Beleza? Terminando aqui, que precisa de dar banho nas crianças. Não fica muito frio, as crianças não querem tomar banho. Aí fica aí, poiquinho, né, poiquinho? Poiquinho. Beleza, galera? Forte abraço a todos aí. Vamos encerrar a live por aqui. Muito obrigado aí aos follows que chegou, a galera que chegou nova no canal aí. Se Deus quiser, não chover e tiver internet, a gente volta ainda hoje. Forte abraço e